What's up guys, Sub-Zero here, and welcome to my top 5 comps of patch 12.4b. This is a new type of format I'm trying out where instead of like a full-blown tier list where I give you all the comps that I think exist, which ones are good, which ones are bad, I'm just going to give you the top 5 because who really cares about like the 7th through 9th best comps? You just want to know what you can abuse to climb, right? I mean, if you really want to see a full-blown tier list with infinite comps, then let me know, but I thought this would be more useful just for a general idea of what's strong and what you can use to climb. And then after I go through all the comps, I'll also talk a little bit about itemization, tempo, and that kind of stuff that's relevant on the patch. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So the first comp I have here is Socialite Irelia, and this is the 4 scrap variation. So the idea with this comp is you play 3 Socialite, you buff up an Irelia, and she carries your entire team. It's decently easy to shut down an Irelia, so that's why it's only the number 5th best comp. I haven't had a lot of top 1s with this comp, but I've seen a lot of people doing well on it. So yeah, this is the idea of the comp. You play Irelia with the 3 socialite units, and then you're also playing 4 scrap units, these 4, and then 2 bodyguards for some more frontline with Irelia, and the scrap just to buff up all your units with a shield so Irelia doesn't die immediately. Itemization-wise, Last Whisper is hugely important, IE is quite good, and Quicksilver is quite good to stop her from getting CC'd. You could also swap out the Quicksilver for like a Bloodthirster if you feel like you need more lifesteal. So yeah, that is, in my opinion, the 5th best comp in the meta. Next, what we got is Renata carry, the 6 bruiser variation. This is the comp that was dominating on last patch, and I think it is still incredibly strong right now. Arguably, you could say it's maybe even like the 3rd best comp or the 2nd best comp. I think it's really quite strong. I think a lot of the comps, a lot of these comps are pretty close together. But yeah, it's a pretty simple comp. You put down 6 bruisers, you play a Renata. Ideally with these 3 items, I feel like Renata, once you drop these 3 items on her, Morello's Blue Buff and Hextech Gunblade, is unstoppable. Drop a Silco behind her and buff her up, and it is really strong. And then late game, you can also make the comp even stronger by adding like legendary units. So if you add like a Victor to this board to get buffed by the Silco, you can add, say, like a Victor and an Ari as your Arcanists, cut down to only 4 bruisers and play that. Or, if you're going 9, you can just add the Victor and keep 6 bruisers. Or if you have like +1 bruiser, you can add Victor and Ari and then just only play 5 of the actual bruisers and get the +1. So yeah, I feel like this comp's really strong, really very easy to abuse, pretty easy to pilot. So I absolutely love this comp. I think it's a ton of fun to play. There's a lot of really strong early item holders for Renata. Like Corki item holds the blue buff quite well. Nocturne item holds like a Gunblade and a Morello's quite well. Malzahar is obviously the biggest one because these 3 items are like best in slot on Malzahar as well. So if you get an early Malz, ideally an early Malz too, then you can just carry these items throughout the entire game, move them to Renata later, and you'll be chilling. Misfortune's also another very good one. So yeah, Renata Bruisers, I think, still very strong, despite the nerfs to her in the B patch. All right, the next comp we got here is Innovator Twitch Reroll, which is near and dear to my heart. I've been playing a decent amount of this on 12.4 and 12.4b. I think it's just an incredibly strong comp. I would play this anytime you get an opener where you see a ton of Twitches, Ezreals, Singed, Camille's, and Warwick's. So yeah, I mean, you're just rerolling for a bunch of 1 costs and a couple of 2 costs, though. Really, you're just looking to 3-star Ezreal, Twitch, Camille, and Singed. The most important one to 3-star is, of course, the Twitch, because this is the unit that you're putting these items on. This is what I would call best in slot Twitch. Last Whisper, Infinity Edge, Renan's Hurricane. Once again, like in the Irelia's case, the Last Whisper is hugely important, and the Infinity Edge is just a really strong item that goes with that. But this 3rd item can flex into different things, like a Giant Slayer, Quicksilver, those types of things. So if you're trying to slam any item, Last Whisper is really strong, and then Infinity Edge with that, and then you can figure out the 3rd item later. Outside of that, other items to slam are usually Echo items. You can get like a Morello's on him, a Frozen Heart, those are really good. And just a quick little positioning thing, something that I've found has given me a lot of success in this comp. So the way Twitch works, right, he auto-attacks, he shoots a big bolt in a line for his ability. I like putting Twitch in a corner, usually the corner away from the enemy carries. So like say, for example, the enemy has grouped up on the right side of the map, I'll put Twitch on the left side and then put Echo in front of him as sort of like a bodyguard. It works really well if he has a frozen heart, because then Twitch will jump to the back line and then Echo will jump and ideally take some of the aggro for Twitch. And if you have the frozen heart, slow down any of the units that are going to try to hit Twitch. So this is how I like to position this comp. But yeah, that all being said, really just try to get the Twitch 3-star. Ideally, if you can hit all the other 1-cost 3 stars, it's really strong. Obviously, something like Featherweights is really good with this comp. Anything that gives your unit stats tends to be really good. Something like a Phalanx, I think, is also quite nice, because when you hit 3-star units, they gain a bunch of HP. That's just how 3-starring units works. So if you can give them resists with something like a Phalanx, I think that's quite strong. And yeah. And the most capped version of this comp is this 5 Innovator variant, where you reroll for these 6 units right here, though probably not 3-starring Echo. It's just hard to 3-star this unit. And then you find Zillion later and Seraphine, add them and get 5 Innovator, and then the bear buffs up all your units. So yeah, really cool comp. I like this a lot. If you love reroll comps, just spam the heck out of this. And if you also want another reroll comp to play, you can try out Talon reroll. So full disclosure, this is a comp that I don't have a ton of experience with, but I've seen a lot of people do really well with it. I've seen it do very well just statistically, so I feel like I have to put it high on this list. I feel like it's almost sleeper OP because I don't see enough people playing it, but when I do see people playing it, they're popping off. So it's a pretty straightforward comp. You're re-rolling for Talon primarily. You can go for a Nocturne 3 as well. You can go for a Syndra 3 as well, Blitzcrank 3 as well, and perhaps you can 3-star these guys, but really most important is getting the Talon 3-starred. And yeah, you just play this 4 Assassin 3 Debonair board with the bodyguards and Blitzcrank and Leona, and I mean, he just does a ton of damage. Obvious bit to this is that because Talon is a Debonair carry, you're trying to get a VIP Talon, so play this comp if you find, say, an early VIP Talon. That's a pretty good signal that you're going to go for this comp. So yeah, if you see an early VIP Talon and you have decent items for it, I would check it out. And these are the items that I think are really good. Infinity Edge, always crucial on Assassins. Rapid Fire Cannon, great because Talon loves to auto-attack a lot. And Quicksilver is also really good. One, because Talon's going to get enforced in this comp, most likely, unless you 3-star something like a Blitzcrank or Leona. And also just because you want him to auto-attack a lot, this gives attack speed. So yeah, that is Talon reroll, another really strong comp in my opinion. And last, but the opposite of least, the comp that I think is the strongest is Senna Innovators, whatever you want to call it. It is an Innovator board, so we are running Seraphine, Jace, Echo, Zillion, and Ezreal at the most capped variant, and then we've added at level 8 3 non-Innovator units, a Vi for Enforcer with Jace, an Orianna for Clockwork with Zillion, and a Senna for another Socialite and an Enchanter. And you put your AD carry items on Senna. Senna, actually, this patch has shown up as a hugely strong AD carry. You can put these items on her. Once again, the IE Last Whisper combination. Then Giant Slayer is really good. Senna's ability scales off of AD, so you really like to stack a bunch of AD on Senna. So putting these just straight up AD items on Senna, similar to how you would build like a Jhin, is really quite strong. And a lot of people have gone for this comp in sort of like a reroll variation. So there's another variation to like a Senna carry comp, or rerolling for Senna, and then you can also reroll for other 3 costs like Morgana, Echo, because you know you're going to play the Innovator variation. So rerolling for Senna plus some other 3 costs is also strong. Gnar as well if you want to go a more socialite variation. But really, Senna's just a very strong unit right now, so I think it makes a lot of sense to play this Innovator comp around her in most cases, and then also if you want to, you can play like a more reroll Senna variation. So yeah, those in my opinion are the 5 strongest comps on this patch. Now to get into ideas of itemization and tempo, something that you can probably tell looking through all of these comps, Last Whisper, Infinity Edge, a hugely strong combination. Irelia really likes these items. It's not relevant here. Twitch really likes these items. Talon likes the Infinity Edge. And Senna also likes the IE Last Whisper. So this is a really strong, really flexible combination that you can play on a lot of units. So I do not feel bad at all about slamming these items early, even though Infinity Edge isn't the strongest item early. You know, in general, crit items aren't the best slams, but I think because they're so relevant late game, I think, you know, if you start a glove, I'm not the most against that. Honestly, what I've been starting recently is sword, because every unit wants an Infinity Edge, right? Twitch, Irelia, Talon, and Samira all want Infinity Edges. However, Renata also wants a sword item, right? Hextech Gunblade. So if you start sword, you can flex between all 5 of these comps and then just play around with items you hit. If you hit like 2 rods in the early creep rounds and you have a sword, then okay, you can slam Gunblade and start playing towards Renata. If you hit like a glove and a bow, then you can say, okay, I'm going to slam Infinity Edge and play towards Twitch, or play towards Talon, or play towards Samira, or play towards, oh, not Samira, Senna. Or play towards Senna, or play towards irelia. So that, in my opinion, is my favorite starting item, but you know, some people might have different ideas. Bow is also a great start because there are a lot of AD comps out here. This is the only really strong AP comp, I think. There's also like Malzahar as a slightly worse, in my opinion, AP comp, but it can work in specific scenarios. So yeah, those are my thoughts on items. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is just tempo in general. You know, is this a patch where you roll down really early, or is it a patch where you greed up all your gold and go to level 8? I think you can probably figure out from looking at the prevalence of a 1-cost reroll and a 2-cost reroll comp that it's a bit more of an aggressive meta. People are going to be rolling at 6, people are going to be rolling at 7, especially because Senna is so strong, and just 3-cost reroll in general. There's a lot of stuff you can do with 3-cost reroll. You can reroll for Cho'Gath and Malzahar, you can reroll for Senna and Gnar. People are even doing like Gangplank Lucian twin shot reroll. So a lot of people are rolling for 3-cost units, means that a lot of people are rolling at 7, which means that most people aren't greeding up all the gold and going to 8. So that's my opinion of the tempo. You are going to see more people rolling down at 6 and at 7. So yeah, that's those are all my thoughts right now on patch 12.4b. There's going to be another patch next Wednesday, I believe. So I just want to get this out before the weekend in case anyone wants to do a bunch of grinding for like Innovator Cup or something like that. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would super appreciate it if you gave it a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to put out a ton of content and people are reacting really well to it. So I'm very happy about that. And also, if you want to see more stuff like this or just hear more of my thoughts on the game, go down below, follow my Twitch, follow my Twitter, and follow my, I guess, join my Discord, and you'll be able to keep updated on everything that I am doing. So yeah, and then also let me know how you feel about this format where I'm just going through 5 comps as opposed to going through a whole, you know, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. I think this is very useful if you want to understand just a few comps and know what to climb with. So I thought that'd be a little bit more succinct and useful, but let me know if you want me to go all the way down and rank what I think are the worst comps as well. Sivir, I think, is pretty bad, though I've seen people succeed with 8 Hextech, but I won't get into that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.